Welcome back to the Weekly Driver podcast. My name is James Ray. I am an automotive columnist for Bay Area News Group, which is the San Jose Mercury and East Bay Times, and I publish the website TheWeeklyDriver.com. My colleague is Bruce Aldrich, and we are the co-hosts of the Weekly Driver podcast. Today, our guest is Mel Weiss, and he has a new project in the wacky, crazy, always evolving world of Tesla. So welcome to our podcast. Mel, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Great. Could you introduce us to your book and tell us its title and why you've decided to tackle this project?
Okay. Well, the book is called Tesla Model 3 Revealed. And way back in July of 2017, I did a lot of research on the Teslas. And one thing I found was most people love the cars. They had some problems with fit and finish and other things that were wrong with a new product. But they all said they love the cars. So I'm an auto enthusiast, so I said, wow, I'm going to put an order in. So I put an order in July of 2017. And lo and behold, on August 2nd, 2018, I got it delivered.
How do you like the car?
I love the car. I really don't put it through the routine that a lot of other people put it through. I don't put it into the enhanced auto drive that much, especially around turns. I'm just not that comfortable yet, but I will be. I'll get there. But it's a great car. I mean, no gas. The only things that you need to put into a car like that is windshield wiper fluid and tires. That's it. Nothing more than that.
And so the book project, you wanted to share your experiences, and why did you feel that this was necessary at this time? Tesla's been out for 10, 11 years now, and so why did you tackle this project in book form?
A Tesla is like no other car. You buy a car, like a Buick or a Chevrolet, you look at the thick manual and you wade through it. But Tesla is not like that at all. It gives you over-the-air updates all the time and fixing the cars that have problems with it. So you need to have something other than a manual, which it really isn't any, really, not really. But you need something else. I have a lot of friends of mine, older friends of mine, who won't tackle Tesla because they say it's too complicated.
Yes.
Complicated. I mean, what's complicated about it? Well, it is complicated. So I decided to write a book.
Why doesn't Tesla develop and work out these bugs before they make a poor consumer part of the test team unknowingly?
That's true. I mean, if you've ever written software, you know, you start out writing a software that you think that will work, then you find out later on there are small bugs in there that don't work as well, and you fix it. And it's nothing like that when I'm in cars in my garage in a Wi-Fi setting, and I get an indication that the software is going to be updated, and voila, the blind spot fix was the greatest fix for me because they didn't really have a good blind spot system. But over time, they fixed it with version 9.0. So anyway, it's a great technology car. The most important thing for me is that also it will be eventually a self-driving car, which is no other car will do that. The Tesla Model 3 was designed to be a self-driving car. The Model X and the Model S were not. So this car will be, within 4 or 5 years, maybe before that, a fully functional self-driving car.
So you like the advanced autopilot, I think they call it. And you like the development so far, huh?
Yeah, I do, but I'm a very conservative engineer. I've always been that way. I do it only, I wouldn't do it on the 3 sharp turns. I know it will work. I read articles that it does work. Just read an article yesterday about a guy going down a mountain, steep mountain, in the enhanced auto drive, and it works fine. I would never do that. I'm just too conservative. But eventually, as time goes on, and these cars do what they say they're going to do, people will get used to that. And I think that's going to happen. That's going to happen. Yeah.
Hey, Mel, jumping over into more into the publishing side, as a journalist, I'm curious to know. You've done this in ebook format, and your book is available on Amazon and other downloadable areas. What was that process like for you? How did you decide what to include? Did you put 3x5 cards on the bulletin board and kind of wean it down into certain topics? Or tell us through the process. Take us through the process of writing a book. And is it your first book?
No, I wrote a book in 1980. A long time ago.
Yes.
Called Microprocessing Fundamentals, Hardware and Software. And we split it. We decided to do 10 chapters. We split up 5 chapters for me, 5 chapters for my friend, and we worked on that. But that's a different process. I did it differently. I wrote down on a 3x5 card all the things that the card did, was going to do, and I started looking and researching that. But it was really a seat of the pants design. Really wasn't a really formal way of writing a book, I'm sure.
Yes.
And I had my daughter review it. I review it. They reviewed it for the spelling more than the grammar, but I think it worked out very well. The book, I think the book is really great for first time users. If you're going to buy a car, like a Tesla, you really want to get this book and find out that lots of things in the book really will be very helpful, such as if you want to charge at your residence, you need to learn about how to call a guy up and bring a guy in to charge. If you have a garage, hopefully you have a garage, and you can get that charged up. And some people, I had 3 people come in. One guy charged $1,500. Redo my whole wiring system. I said goodbye. The second guy came in at around $450. Another guy at $350, $250. I chose the one in the middle, and he did a great job.
Great. What do you think? What do you think about hooking that up to solar panels? Do you have that?
One day, not now. I'm sure it will be eventually available, but yeah. So it's nice to. I charge the car about every third day, second or third day, and in that there's read articles about, and it's in the book, that maximizing your lithium-ion battery life.
Yeah, tell us about that. What are some tips on maximizing the battery life?
Yeah. Some people who don't really understand what's going on, they charge it fully all the way, 100% every time. And they find out over time the battery wears out, you're not supposed to charge your lithium-ion battery till it's full amount. It's recommended in the book, I've read articles about that, to charge at 70%. So if your range is my range is 310 miles. 70% of that is on 220 miles. So every charge, I'm going to charge up to 220 miles. Now, experts say the lithium-ion batteries will last over 10 years. 10 years. We do it that way.
What about supercharging? That can't be good on them, is it? The Tesla supercharge system?
Yeah. Charging at home takes about 5 hours. Charging with a supercharger takes, they say, 30 minutes.
Right.
And it is a fast charge. Not really recommended on a daily basis. If you're going on a long trip, you need to use it. But, I've used a supercharger only once, and I have around 9,000 miles on the car right now. So, I will use it on my next trip. It charges to its fullest. I'll get 310 miles on full charge. And, again, you're not supposed to do that on a regular basis. It's meant to be just on occasion only.
Hey, Ray, this probably doesn't pertain to you now because you've had your car for a while, but some of the things that the average consumer, whether they're considering, a hybrid car or a hydrogen car or a fully electric vehicle, there's always that dilemma of potential range anxiety. And I think that I've read a number of stories that the people who have driving for 30 or 40 years, they would just never consider changing their driving pattern, even if it's in a hybrid vehicle. So what has been your experience, and did you experience any of the range anxiety, or are you far removed from that now and it's not even in your thought process?
Well, I read articles about people actually going down to 10 miles of range, and then they have to get a truck to the nearest station to get charged again.
Yes.
There's range anxiety. You're right. A gas-powered engine, you can go almost anywhere and find a gas station. That's true.
Yes.
That's true. You really don't worry about it. But you will worry about that. But Tesla and Elon Musk is very smart. They have lots of superchargers all over the country. In fact, your phone, you're driving a car, you simply hit navigate. They'll tell you where the nearest supercharger is within miles. So it's like there. So if I'm at 50 miles left on my charge, I'll look for a supercharger or a charger if I'm on the road. I hit the navigate. There's a whole list of where they are, and I'm talking about one. I'm talking many. Yeah, I imagine if you're out in God's country somewhere, you may not only find one or two. But yeah, there's some problem with that. Yeah, again, as more electric cars come into the market, you'll find more superchargers, more chargers. So I don't think about it.
Gotcha. Now, did you enter the electric car world based on your experience as an engineer or your environmental concerns, or it was a curiosity to you at first? Why and how did you make that decision to purchase a Tesla in the first place?
Well, that's a good question. I guess part of it was environmental. I don't like smelly gas in my hands every time I get my gas changed. I get gas load up. That's one thing. No one likes that. And that was really. I didn't really think much of that. I just felt that electric vehicles are the vehicles of the future, and Tesla's the best car right now out there by far. All these other electric cars I don't compare with the Tesla. It's been written up. Many articles have been written up that Tesla is more than a couple of years ahead of anybody else. So we'll stick with my Tesla.
What do you think? Have you looked at the competition? The competition is coming on strong. They've got the new Leaf, the extended range Leaf. They've got everything.
Yeah. The Leaf is a good car, but the range is not as much. And again, it doesn't have the over-the-air fixes that the Tesla has. Very important that over-the-air fixes are available to you, and that's the best. Greatest thing as an engineer and doing some software in my days, whenever there was a problem with the hardware or software, using some software that needed to be fixed, the software guy would come in, do a few things, and fix. It's really nice feeling.
Now, Ray, whether it's a Tesla, which in California, of course, we're seeing more and more of them, or it's another one of the cars I've been able to review, if it's a unique vehicle, one tends to get more reaction from the public. Even though there are quite a few Teslas, have you had any unique experiences where you're charging and somebody else is there and they compliment you, or have there been anything out of the ordinary that you'd have experienced other than being in a regular car?
No, not really. They stopped me and I'm in the supermarket. Someone says, "Is that Tesla?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Wow, which button do you push?" There's no button you push. There's no button. It's all on my iPhone. Oh, really? Yeah, it's all there. My iPhone has a mileage. My mileage I have, annual mileage. My phone has charge. Lots of good things on your iPhone. So it is a high-tech car, and will remain so. But I think, again, I can't see anything better out there right now. All these other cars are good. A lot of people have an electric car and a gas engine car, but for short range driving, electric cars are okay. But for long trips, you can't do that.
In the sports world, sometimes my friends, Bruce, for example, and other friends will, at least I have difficulty sometimes removing the human being from the athlete. So there's plenty of controversial athletes who I have difficulty following because of their, who they are. It sounds like I'm judging them, but some of their habits are unusual, and so I have a tough time following them as an athlete and respecting them. And obviously, where I'm going with this. Elon Musk is a very controversial fellow, and he puts himself in unique situations. So, do you have an opinion about Elon Musk, or the car is so fascinating that you just remove yourself from?
I'm old enough to remember Howard Hughes.
Yes.
I think must be Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes, the very brilliant guy, as Musk is, does some really crazy things, as Howard did. Howard had affairs with Marilyn Monroe, all these women. He did crazy things. I read somewhere he couldn't, for a while, he'd keep washing his hands. He wouldn't touch people.
Yes.
He was weird.
Yes.
And Musk is a little bit on that line, really. But let's face it, he's brilliant.
Yes.
And let's leave it at that. Yeah, he does some stupid things like smoking pot in front of a TV audience.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. No, that's a very good answer. I appreciate that. I never really put the eccentricity, if you will, of Howard Hughes and compared him to Elon Musk. They're brilliant people, obviously, and they have their foibles, as all of us do, but theirs are just more in the spotlight, I guess, because of who they are. So thank you for that comparison. I hadn't thought of it. As I said, that's great. It's great.
Yeah, he's just a brilliant guy who does other things. I mean, he's doing the tunnel with the company has doing the tunnel. He just got an award contract to build a tunnel in Las Vegas. I mean, he's brilliant.
Yes.
But I don't know how he does all that. I don't know how you did what he did either.
Right. Right. The spruce.
Certain people, you put them on a pedestal and you forget about them because they can do no wrong. I mean, they do wrong, unfortunately. You just have to realize that's where they are. Yeah.
Great. Ray, to reiterate, can you take us through the book and where it's available and the cost and what the reaction's been so far, or is it so new that you haven't had a chance to take a look at the numbers?
It's too new. I really haven't marketed very well. I'm not a good marketer. I'm really not good at that. That's not what I do well.
Uh-huh.
So, but it's not really sold much. I've set it up to where can you get it Amazon, Barnes & Noble, even Google Play. It runs the print version is around $10.95.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheap, and it's only 25 pages.
Yes.
So it's not that big, but it's good enough for someone who needs to know about Tesla. It's really a lot of good stuff in there. It's just anyway. That's.
I think it's a pretty good investment for $3. Yeah, it sounds like you're going to get a wealth of knowledge and that's the beauty of ebooks. You can download them and you can listen to them at your leisure or read them at your leisure, and it's great.
The ebook is like $5 or $6. No, maybe something like that. But the print book is $10.95.
Yes.
Again, and all the links in the book. I have another way. You can go to a website where all the links I have in the book or the ebook, either one. If you go to any laptop or desktop, you can actually go to all the links with that. So
I want to correct did you say originally, did I make a mistake? Did you say $2.95 or $10.95?
$10.95.
Thank you. I'm sorry for the mistake. I'm sorry for the mistake. It's still a good bargain at $10, so I'll correct myself.
$10.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, not even. I go for breakfast every day with my wife, and it still costs me $25-$30.
There you go.
Now you go for breakfast. Just don't go for breakfast that day and buy the book.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, since we're talking about cost, what do you being an engineer, you must have figured out how much it costs to go per gallon, how much you're paying for electricity in that thing.
Yeah. I called my SD, my electric company, try to see if I can get a good deal, but they won't budge. It still costs around about I would say about $10 to fill up.
Okay.
And that's the 70%. So what is that? 200.
Yeah, 310 miles. Well, for me, 220 miles. Well, 220 miles for $10. Yeah, gas engine cars run what? In California, we're over almost $4 a gallon. So
right.
Very high.
Yeah,
my daughter.
You're saying 22 cents a gallon? I mean a mile?
That's right. 22 cents a
Yeah.
mile.
Roughly is what your guess is.
That's pretty.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what it is. I feel like my LC bill goes about $10 every time I fill up.
Well, Ray, we want to thank you for being our guest today on the Weekly Driver podcast. Mel, what did I say? Ray, we had another guest on earlier. I beg your pardon. Mel, thank you, and people check out his book on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon, and obviously you have great knowledge of your experience in the Tesla, and it's still, the car has changed the automotive industry. We all know that, and Elon, as you mentioned, is a controversial fellow, but when we go to auto shows or we see friends that have them, it's just the ever fascinating automobile. It's the Model T, if you will, of today, and which has changed the world. So thank you again for being our guest, and best of luck with the project, and best of luck with your car.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you, Mel.
Nice day.
Thank
you.
Bye. The Weekly Driver podcast gets support from AmericanTrucks.com. Visit www.americantrucks.com. We wanted to reintroduce our guest halfway through, in case people joined us. Ray Elliot, he's the veteran tow truck driver. We've talked to him now a couple times, and I've spoken with him and written about him a little bit. He just provides a whole new wealth of knowledge for the crazy world of driving, whether you're in the Sacramento area, which he is today, or the Bay Area, the Silicon Valley, which is a crazy world of driving. And he also has taken upon himself to publish the website Idiots on the Interstate, where he has commentary and he has these great videos that he makes that just show people at their worst. And sometimes we've discussed his relationship with CHP officers and other law enforcement, but sometimes those people make mistakes as well. So, Ray, how about in that area? Not to speak ill of the people who are saving lives or helping saving lives, but sometimes you come upon people who should know better, law enforcement, and they might be doing something wrong as well. That's true, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, the quote from the CHP officer last week: "Just because you have a gun and a badge doesn't mean you know what the hell you're doing."
Yeah. Have you ever told them? That?
Well, you look at my site. There's a couple incidents with CHP officers that I caught on camera just being absolutely ridiculously stupid, and I told the CHP officers out on the streets about it, and they've looked at it and gone, "Oh, great. Oh, I just watched an idiot do an illegal U-turn."
Gotcha.
Dangerous one, too.
Yes. I guess I would ask, and lastly for our episode today, is it feasible? Is it okay or too difficult to condense maybe the one thing that you would say to the public? I think you mentioned earlier about turning off your phone. Is it using your turn signal? Is it just having a presence on the road? What couple of things can you give us that are just good common sense knowledge for the driver who seems to be an idiot on the interstate?
Unfortunately, the idiots don't ever learn.
Okay.
But yeah, number one, put down your damn phone. That is probably the biggest cause of crashes in the Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Number two, pay attention to your car. So something as simple as bending over and looking at your tires can save your life.
Yes.
Just pay attention. Pay attention. Look ahead. You don't need to be looking at your radio. You don't need to be hitting your cigarette or playing with your phone. As I did, I pulled over to have the conversation with you to a nice safe spot because I don't talk on the phone while I'm flying down the freeway normally.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I have to because I can't get the proper information from the auto club, so I have to call people and get information that I didn't get. But other than that, I use my phone as my dash cam, so I can't play with it, so I can't look at it. It's always running, and it's out of arm's length.
Well,
So what have you seen funny? I mean, as far as I'm sure people are shaving, people are, Netflixing, they're watching their Netflix. What else do they do?
I've seen the shaving. I've seen the teeth brushing. I love watching women put on makeup in heavy traffic because they're going to shove that eyeliner through their eyeball.
Ray, that's great in the weirdest way.
when they're rear-end somebody and their airbag goes off, they're going to shove their whole arm through their eyeball. I've seen just about every form of getting sex in the front.
That's just what I was going to go with next. That was it goes. I didn't know how to phrase it, but you said it just directly. I can imagine that you have seen that as well. Yes.
I just watched another person do an illegal U-turn.
Oh, there you
Same
go.
stuff.
Oh my gosh.
You got some intelligent ones there, Sacramento.
Yeah, we do sometimes. Well, Ray, we really want to thank you again. We have had a few repeat guests, and you're one of them now. And it's just a fascinating time to listen to your stories and to soak up your knowledge about idiots on the interstate. And we'll look forward to posting the podcast and being in contact with you again, and refresh everybody's memory. Visit Ray's site, idiotsontheinterstate.com. There's a fantastic array of videos and his commentary on the world of driving and all those things that we have to do, most of us, and why people do it so poorly. So, Ray, thanks again for being our guest. Someday we're going to meet and have a cup of coffee or whatever, but thank you again for your time today, Ray. Really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Ray.
you, James and Bruce.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Cheers. Bye-bye. The Weekly Driver podcast gets support from AmericanMuscle.com, your late model Mustang and F-150 authority, bringing you the hottest products and top-notch customer service for over a decade. No one makes it easier to modify your ride. Visit AmericanMuscle.com today